This video is for my COMT 450 class. I'm Jonathan Henry, and I'm going to talk to you today about something that's deeply personal to me. I don't think most people understand the sacrifices that it takes for our country to survive. I don't think most people understand what it is that our soldiers go through in the process of protecting the freedoms that we have. And for that matter, I don't think that most soldiers realize when they sign up what it is that they're actually signing up for. But I think eventually most soldiers will experience something, an event that teaches them. And I want to tell you about mine. In 2004, my Guard unit was deployed to the Horn of Africa. We were performing humanitarian missions, building schools and clinics and things to that end. The trip was going along fine until one night when we were woken up and informed that our base was under attack and that we were to get up and put on our gear and take defensive positions immediately. Didn't have any details other than that, just that the base had been attacked. And at the time we were living in the middle of the field, in the middle of nowhere. We had, a couple weeks prior, loaded all our gear up onto a couple trucks and drove 12 hours away from a base to this little village called Herso inside of Ethiopia. And we were there all on our own. Air support was 45 minutes away, and the only people that we had there to protect ourselves was us, and there was no more than 50 of us. Our base was 75 yards by 75 yards. We used concertina wire as a wall, and we had tents, and that was pretty much it. So when we were woken up and told to take up defensive positions, it was serious. Something very serious had gone wrong, and we didn't know what. In the process of the night, I volunteered with a buddy of mine to go outside the base and shut off generators. The intention was that we were going to shut everything off on the base so as to hide our position better in case there were people out there still looking for us but couldn't find us. And I went out with a buddy of mine, and we got separated. On top of that, I got lost. I thought I knew where I was, and soon realized that I didn't know where I was. I was all alone. It was completely dark. I couldn't see anything, but I could hear people who were not Americans. There were people out there running around and talking and whatnot, and I freaked. I hid behind one of the generators. I did not have any body armor on me. I had one clip of ammunition for my M16, and that was it. I was very, very, very afraid. Such experiences like this one are common, I think, among soldiers. I think there's a lot of people out there who've experienced what I've experienced. But nobody really knows when you sign up to become a soldier what you're going to go through. Nobody really, I think, understands what war is like. I don't think anybody understands that these freedoms that we have as Americans have a cost. And I don't think that when people sign up to become soldiers, I don't think they really fully understand what it is that they're signing up for. There's nothing out there that can really prepare a person to understand what it is that they're going to be doing. It's just something that you just kind of step up to, and you just take it on and just accept it. For me, I had a really hard time at first dealing with this experience. But I did have an aha moment. that really changed my perspective on things. A short time later, I was home, been having struggles and difficulties and nightmares, problems in school, angry, a lot of problems. I live in Great Falls, and I was driving across the 10th Avenue Bridge, which goes right by Flag Hill, which has one of the largest flags on display there on the hill that overlooks all of Great Falls. Big thing. I don't remember why or what the reason was, but something about driving by there and looking up, and I saw Old Glory sitting there and just waving in the wind, and all of a sudden I remembered my 4th grade teachings about the flag, about the red stripes stands for the blood of soldiers gone before who've paid the ultimate sacrifice to keep our country free. And in that moment, I was driving home in traffic, but I broke down and I started crying because all of a sudden I felt like there was my blood on that flag, almost as if I haven't paid the ultimate price, but I have paid a price, and I felt like I had sacrificed, and all of a sudden I just felt like I was one of many to do the things that I've done. Because if there's one thing no soldier can deal with, it's being alone. From the very beginning, soldiers are trained to stick together, and that when you have your battle buddy with you, you can take on anything. But you can't deal with being alone. And if there's one thing that PTSD makes you feel, it makes you feel alone and trapped and scared. And in that moment, I looked at that flag and I just broke down crying because I knew that I wasn't alone anymore. There are thousands of men and women who've gone before me and served, and who would understood if I told them what it was that I was feeling and what it was that I was going through. And in that moment, I just felt like I wasn't alone anymore. I was still having issues, still going through stuff and dealing with crap, but I knew I wasn't alone anymore. Just that one experience, just driving by and just happened to look up and see that flag, and in that moment, I had such a profound experience just looking at it and realizing what my country really meant. Understanding what it is that my country has had to go through to be who we are, to give me what I've been given, to have the life that I have. I broke down and I cried like I've never cried before. And from that day forward, my attitude towards my military service changed. I never questioned my decision to join the military. I never questioned the sacrifices that I've made. I've never questioned them from that day, because I know that the decisions and the sacrifices that I've made for my country do mean something, and they do matter, and they're not in vain, and it's painful, but it means something. It really does. And it's okay to me that other people don't fully understand that and don't understand what they have. I can accept that. I don't think that my country's perfect, but I love my country. I love my country with all my heart. And I would die for my country in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think about it. Even though most people don't understand what it is that we as soldiers go through, I know that my country stands for something great. And I can deal with that.